evening. Good evening. This is Robert Stack. Cunning, deceit, lies, and intrigue. Can you figure out who's telling the truth? This is Robert Stack. I'm Robert Stack. And this is Mystery Intrigue. Tonight, our first mystery begins as soon as I bring this up.
A shoe store in Indianapolis, a ceramic.
A shoe store in Indianapolis, a ceramic shop in Terre Haute, a bridal shop in Wichita, an herbal medicine store outside Kansas City, another shoe store near St. Louis. All murder scene. Victims of what police in 4 states are almost sure is a serial killer.
If we didn't take a good hard look at this case right now, that may not get us.
There's no way I was going to go back there.
Confronted by an armed man.
He went to flip.
He had to be.
There's a lot of people who are out there in these cities and they know something that we don't.
Serial killers don't stop unless you're caught. What happened to him?
Fred, this Frederick Highway, Interstate 7, divides the Midwest running east to west. All the murders committed not far from the road.
So you can't see that. That's the serial killer.
Somewhere out along Interstate 70, more trouble lies ahead.
I approached my chief, Chief Jinks, when I first got the position as captain over the investigative services, and I asked if it would be all right if I kind of started looking at the I-70 case a little bit on the side. He told me, like, you know what, this is a case that needs to be re-examined, and if we're going to do it, we're going to do it right. So what I want you to do is, get with these other investigators, see if we can come up with a mutual time, mutual locations, or we can all sit down, re-examine this stuff, and see what we need to do to come to a conclusion.
Indianapolis to Wichita, that's a long haul in 2.5 days. I just made that drive and that's only halfway here. I just made that drive, and you don't make that accidentally. That gives you an idea that travel might have been part of this person's life. I'd say most tips right now are people that know someone or have seen someone that resembles the composite.
Well, we already had thousands of names. Mostly, the majority of those names are people who would have had an opportunity to commit these crimes. We learned that within a week, or I think probably within the first week. We were seeing messages on the teleprinter system. We've got a case that looks like this, and we've got this kind of ballistics evidence at the crime scene. When those matched, we said, yeah, these are all the same guy. And eventually, within a very short time, we knew that all the ballistics from all the scenes matched. But that was very, very early. We knew that right away.
I think the big one is DNA here. Obviously, not a lot of cameras back then. Surveillance systems and businesses weren't nearly as prevalent as they are now. So hopefully, that's the best way we can ID them, and it might work out.
30 years ago, the testing that they were doing just was much more limited than what it is now. Now they have ways to actually test more of that. Things that they may not have been able to extract DNA from before, they can now actually extract that.
We are able to get what we call touch DNA or handler DNA off of objects that we previously would not have been able to do in, let's say, necessarily 1992. So we're able to take samples where someone has handled something and obtain skin cell DNA off of those handled items.
I'm hoping that the sharing of information will allow us to get closer to getting some resolution.
This whole case is going on 30 years old. There's been a lot of advancements in DNA, and I felt like this was the time to do it. And I was concerned that if we didn't take a good hard look at this case right now, that it may not get done.
We want to get justice for the victims' families. And so, hopefully in our collective agency.
And yeah, I think,
The I-70 killer is a white male between 5 feet inches tall and 6 feet tall. He weighs 100 pounds and was thought to be between 35 and 40 years old in 1984. He has reddish hair, thin lips, a high forehead, and lazy eyelids. He was neatly dressed and clean cut. He is described as walking around as if in a trance, like he was thinking about something else. Based on Jules Rouge that was found in the bullet casings, it is believed that he knew about caring for weapons. Although he took some money from each of the victims, robbery is not believed to be the motive. Herm Bosmeyer from Westfield, Indiana, was suspected of being the I-70 killer, but he committed suicide after numerous human bones were discovered on his estate. They turned out to be male. He was alleged to have killed male homosexuals and could not be linked to the murders. However, he did match the I-70's killer's description and dumped several bodies in at least 2 different states. Donald Michael Price, later Donald Evan Blom, convicted in the murder of Catherine Elizabeth Pointer and a second unknown victim, has also been named as a suspect in the murders. He was known to be suffering from throat cancer, which is now in remission, and to have owned a .22 semi-automatic similar, which was used in the Patricia Meggers and Patricia Smith. So far, this case has not been solved. But if you have some inkling as to what may have happened, or if you have any information as to who the killer might be, feel free to drop them. If you have any information about who the killer might be, please drop in the comment section or contact your local law enforcement agency. That's going to do it for Robert Stack. I believe I'm done here. Wanted to make this a little longer, but